yesterday. He's in the hospital and asked for prayers.
Oh, thank you for telling us.
I have them on the list.
Let me welcome people who are just joining us, as people on Facebook and YouTube and watching the recording afterwards are just joining us. This is Rabbi Brian's Saturday Spiritual Religious Gathering. I'm Rabbi Brian, and I have gathered these people. Hello, people. There's the people. People say hello.
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 And the people are mainly unmuted. And that is intentional, and it sometimes causes a little bit of trouble. But I think it is worth the trouble because it gives us an easier sense of community than before you speak. You have to remember to unmute yourself. If you do have dogs, I have dogs, be aware that they sometimes make noise. A few things before we dive all the way in. Let me say hi to Stacy and Larice and Joe and Nancy and Rita and Gord and Ron and Ann and Joan and Carol and Wendy and Avi. Oh, that's Aviva. And hello to Jim and everyone previous, Chad and Lisa, and I think everyone previous to Ann on my screen. I already said good morning to. So
Good morning,
people.
Morning.
Glad you guys are here. It's a rough news day. If you haven't seen the news, it's a rough news day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so the U.S. and Israel is going after Iran. With it is uncomfortable.
With our help, of course.
Don't forget Pakistan and Afghanistan, too, going after one another.
And also Neil Sedaka died.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they're on different magnitudes, but but he was.
Going after all the
They
American
are, but-
bases in the Middle East.
Hold on, say it again, Carol. We didn't catch you.
Iran is going after all the American military bases in the Middle East.
Yeah, it's
And we have military bases in every country in the Middle East.
we are.
Well, they took Trump's bait then. He's been desperate to get a war started, so.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
but
let.
Just what
they're
you want.
looking at the Epstein files.
Yeah, we don't want to look at those too carefully. So let's take a moment of just centering ourselves, and I'm going to say that also so that I can center myself, or try to add a little bit of weight to the ballast so I don't feel as rocky. There was a quote that we all looked at back in the day
There's Carol.
when COVID was just new and upon us and we started this gathering. We had this quote which says, "Do you feel safe right now?" And the idea is that if you feel safe right now, at this moment, feel safe right now. That it's like a bank account. The more that you can feel, the more you can put into the bank account your feelings of feeling safe, the more when you feel scared, you can go, oh, look, I have those things stored up. I haven't always been scared, just been scared for a bit. It's an idea. It's a scary time. Some announcements to make. We're going to do a little grammar lesson. In languages, there are singulars and plurals. First person, second person, third person. So this is second person is you, and the plural of you is y'all. He, she.
No, Brian. You is singular. All y'all is plural.
All y'all is plural.
All y'all is singular.
I
All y'all.
had a
Yeah.
roommate from New Orleans, and he taught me this, so I'm sticking with it. He, she, they are all singular third person, and then they, them is plural. And the reason I bring this up, and I left out the first person. Oh, and this one, first person plural is we. Also, singular third person is one. One might say. And there's a one that I'm leaving blank for this moment, and I'm going to fill it in. I think you all have mentally filled it in, which is this one. What letter
Aye.
goes? I.
Aye.
Aye, Captain. The reason I put this up is I'd like to remind us that the more we can speak from I statements, not one ought to or you should, but I feel or I am. So we try to keep the focus on the I. I'm going to tell you all a story. Everyone sitting comfortably?
Yes.
So sometimes I meet with wedding couples, and where one of the members of the wedding couple was brought up, told they were Jewish their whole life, and at some point they believed it. So I have one person who believes that they are Jewish, who is acculturated Jewish, and I have the other, their partner, their future partner, is not. And I will sometimes ask the non-Jewish partner, how many rabbis have you interacted with in your lifetime? And not unfrequently, the answer is one. And it's this guy. And I say to them, listen, you might feel like your partner is being a little impetuous, is being a little bold, being a little treating a clergy person in a way that is a little more casual than you are comfortable with. And I said, that's just Jewish culture. Jewish culture is somebody will tell the rabbi, and I'm not encouraging you to do this right now, but Jewish culture is somebody will say to a rabbi, oh, why don't you just go fuck yourself? But it's not with heat behind it, and you would never say that to a minister or reverend. It's just a cultural. I'm looking at the screen here, and I've heard. I have heard words that you all have said to me that you might not have said to a different clergy person. And I'm fine with it. It's just cultural. It's just a cultural thing, and that's why I tell it to these couples. That being said, I am very used to being interrupted where I come from. If you have a question to ask, you don't have to wait your turn in line and shove that question down. Just ask that question. So I wrote it down as championing people champion interrupting. That I want to give extra credit. And if somebody puts their electronic hand up, listen to this. If somebody puts their electronic hand up and I haven't responded to it yet, please do not take it upon yourself, unless it's an egregious foul and it seems to be 5 minutes since that person put their hand up. They might be putting their hand up to say, hey, Rabbi, when you have a chance, I have something to say. And if you have something urgent to say, interrupt. But I'm saying this because last week and the week before, it has thrown me off a bit while I'm talking and I hear a third person say, oh, John has had his hand up. So I'm going to ask let's pull back on that today and let's see how that goes. Okay. Oh, we had talked about unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice, and I heard from somebody, well, it's okay to give unsolicited advice as so long as your advice is really good.
Right.
Of course, we're going to think it's good.
Yeah. Let's walk that one back, can we? It's still unsolicited advice, even if you think it's really good. Okay. Did that one. Oh, Maria. Where's Maria? There's Maria. Hi, Maria. Maria and I had a little conversation about the following. Last week, I said that if you know someone is going to do something that's going to annoy you, and you get annoyed, that's on you. That's what I said last week, is that if I know that someone's going to say something off topic, and it's like, oh, they're gonna say something off topic, and then they say something off topic, and they go, God, I think that extra giggy is on me. Because if I'm so effing smart that I know what you're going to do is going to be annoying, maybe I need to have a different playbook that I had forewarning. If you have forewarning, why are you getting so bent out of shape? You knew it was going to happen. Maria, you had some commentary. Would you care to share?
Sure.
Thank you.
It sort of just hit me the last week. I don't even know why I was thinking about it, but that.
Wait, can I
it's actually-
time out on you for a second? Hey, folks, all of the things that we talk about, if it sits in your head and you think about it on a Wednesday, that means that what we did today was really good, and you're still thinking about it. I love that. So go ahead, Maria.
Okay, so I was thinking, it's smart to be annoyed when somebody does something that you know they're going to do that's annoying.
Wait, how? What?
Because I know. Okay, so if somebody does something that I find annoying once, right, and they do it again, and I don't find that same behavior annoying.
Can we pretend it's me drinking from my smoothie cup during the service?
Okay, which I find incredibly annoying. This morning, I find it incredibly annoying, but when you were doing it last week, I didn't. So to me, that can go back to spiritual barometer. That it's not the behavior at all. It's just something going on with me that I perhaps.
If something is annoying today and it wasn't annoying last week, then the change is not in the thing that was done. The change is in, I must be in a worse mood today.
Right. Something like that.
Larice, I'll be with you in a
However,
minute. I'll be with you in a minute, honey.
If they do it again, and perhaps again, and I still get annoyed, even though I know they're going to do it, then it's the behavior.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying, Maria?
Yeah, exactly. See? I'm not going to talk if you're going to keep doing that.
Such a brat.
Right, no, that's perfect. I'm not going to talk if you're going to continue to do that. That's perfect because I think you're proving my point.
What's your point?
The behavior, you are the annoying part. It's your behavior. So it's not a spiritual barometer, but so now I need to focus on whatever techniques or tips that we have to just be less annoyed. Yeah, see?
Go ahead,
I'm still
Larice.
just annoyed. Yeah, no,
You're still.
I think the appropriate response here is to tell him to go fuck himself.
Oh, yes.
Lee, thank you for paying attention and welcome to the Saturday program. Folks, this is Lee. She's new around here and I think she's fitting in just
she's
fine.
new and she's already got it.
She's already got
got
it.
it.
If you've not been here ever before, this is what we do. Larice had a comment and then Dan has his hand up.
That annoyance thing. Okay, well, I got to bring this up then. Last week, your clicking of your pen annoyed the crap out of me while people were talking. And so, clicking. No, you actually put not that one, the other one, your pen that goes in and out of the head, the marker. You put the cap on, take the cap off.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that all day.
Yeah, so what happens is, okay, so that means it's me that's annoyed. I mean, it's something wrong with me because it's annoying me, that it bothered me, or should I have said something that it annoys me?
I think what my point is that if you know that I'm going to do this thing and it's going to annoy you, that maybe you can go, oh, I bet he's going to do that thing. I hope maybe I won't get so annoyed today. Or maybe if I think you're right, Larice, there are times where a boundary needs to be set. And you need to say, hey, what you're doing, I don't know that that's setting a boundary, but speaking one's truth Hey, when you do that, it really irks me.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought, well, it's just what you're doing right now, and I have to just let it go and go on, just allow it to just be. But I guess if it happened every week, then maybe I would have said something.
Fair enough. Fair. Thank you, Louise.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Dan, and then Al.
I think you just said something that was part of what I was thinking, which is that some things that are annoying are things that, up with which you should not put, right?
Up
And
with
so
which you should not put. Okay.
Yeah, like ending a sentence with a preposition. So it's appropriate to react in some way, right?
It's appropriate to have. I'll give you that. It's appropriate to have an emotional reaction. Whether or not you act out on that's a different.
It varies, right? All I'm saying is, it depends on what it is.
It depends on what it is. How it fits in. Al, I'll be right with you, but I'm first going to make a little drawing here. And those of you who have been here for a long while might recognize the clock, the person, $, and the raisin. Anyone can be angry, says Aristotle. That is easy. But to be angry at the right person, in the right time, in the right amount, and for the right raisin, that's a raisin. It's not so easy. So, Dan, you're right. But so we can be annoyed and we can tell how we react. We should keep Aristotle in mind. Go ahead, Al. Up with which we should not stand. I'm stuck with your perfect grammar, Dan. Go ahead, Al.
I feel obliged. I should split an infinitive or something just to make up for all that. But so, I heard an important question asked. There was a question asked, so if I feel that way, then there's something wrong with me. And I just had to jump on that. I think a really fundamental thing that I've learned here is no matter what I'm feeling, there's nothing wrong with me.
I actually had the same thought.
Yeah.
That if I was annoyed, does that mean there's something wrong with me?
Thank you for both saying that.
Nothing wrong
there's nothing wrong with you. I think it's how we react.
Well, it's your humanity showing when you get annoyed. I mean, that's a good thing. Hopefully you don't do something really inappropriate and mean. That would be a little bit. That could do with some improvement. But getting annoyed is just being human.
Yeah, I think feelings are never inappropriate.
Right, and let me add to that.
It's the actions.
That to be a human being means to have an emotional response to the world around us. We don't always have that response. One reason is we might not have ever learned what our feelings are. And two, when we're depressed. When we're depressed, you can't just depress one feeling, you depress all the feelings. But to have an emotional reaction to the world around us is our birthright. Absolutely agree. 100%. How we act about how we feel depends if we are 50 plus or a 16-year-old girl who happens to live in this house. Just saying. She's learning. She's learning She's learning how to do it. And in order to learn, you have to do it wrong sometimes. Which is fine. Go ahead, Ray, and then George.
Well, I was thinking if, for us who were not brought up Jewish and are not Jewish, instead of saying, go fuck yourself to the minister, reverend, rabbi, you might say, that's something that Trump would do.
Thank you, Ray, for upping the stakes. Oh. Go ahead, George.
Well, I was going to point out that being annoyed is a little bit like being angry. You choose to be annoyed, and you can just as easily choose to not be annoyed.
I don't think it's so easy, George.
No, it's not.
Not always so easy.
It's not easy to not be angry either, but we say the same thing about anger.
we can, and Maria, I think this will come back to where you were, we can train ourselves to be less annoyed by some things. And the more we train ourselves to be less annoyed at the dog barking or the pen clicking or the rabbi drinking out of a straw loudly or whatever it is that you build up your tolerance for. And then you might be able to get to the point where you're kind to the people who used to annoy you. This is a build-up. It's not, you can't just easily choose, I'm not going to be annoyed. That's some Jedi work. And that's what we're all here learning to do. This is like a support. It's a support group for us.
Rather than a binary.
It's a continuum, correct. And different people have different, some people go 0 to 1, some people can go 0 to 5. It all depends. M-Pop, Melissa Pickford. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Melissa Pickford. Hello, Melissa. What have you to say?
Yeah, fashionably late as usual. I think there's a real distinction between being annoyed, which is normal and human. Everybody experiences that, and the choice that you make and how you react. And in my marriage, which it's easy to get annoyed with a husband or a wife, I find. Nobody told me that before I got married. I thought it was going to be happy and easy every day. But we get really annoyed with each other, and we're really, really working hard on how we react so it's not a huge explosive attack on the other person that really hurts them and further divides us. But just saying, taking some time, I find I need to take some time to calm down before I say anything and say, that was really hard for me. I was really upset when you said or did XYZ.
Yeah.
Breathe before you talk.
And while you're talking, that's a good idea.
Yeah, thank you. Who said that? That's great.
Jane has taught me a thing. There was a day years ago, we're still living in LA, and she said, everything you're doing right now is annoying me.
Everything.
Everything you're doing right now is annoying me, which was her 100%. Telling me where her spiritual barometer was. And I was like, all right, everything I'm doing is annoying. Even that, what you're doing right now is annoying. Okay, sorry, I'm super annoying.
Yeah.
It happens.
But reactivity is the dangerous thing.
Right, with just going straight back, attacking the person who just got you. Yeah, that's what we're here learning. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Nice to see you, Brian.
It's good to see you, Melissa. Thank you. I'm going to put up on the screen quickly this quote. It was Oliver Wendell Holmes, and I'm going to make it really small so you can't see it. Anyone remember the theme of Oliver Wendell Holmes's quote that we've been looking at the last few weeks? I just want to bring us back to it. Do you remember what the theme of this quote was? What was he talking about?
It's not about where you stand. It's about where you're heading to.
Yeah. It's not where you stand. It's what greatness is not in where we stand, but in what direction we are moving.
Where are you going?
Can you apply that to being annoyed? Greatness is... Yeah, go ahead. Greatness is not in not being annoyed. Greatness is in facing the right direction. Greatness is not in being not reactive. Greatness is in facing the right direction.
Or removing oneself.
Moving toward being less annoyed.
Yeah, it's what direction we are moving. Thank you. It's not which direction we're looking, it's which direction we are moving, which implies that we're actually getting towards there. Thank you, Betsy. Okay. Do I see Carolyn on the screen? I didn't. Do I? Is Carolyn here? I see somebody nodding. Oh, there you are. Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
How you doing today, friend?
I'm doing very well.
Very well.
Very well.
You and I had emailed, and you said you were hitting some grief hard.
Yeah,
Do you feel open to sharing a little bit with us?
well, after last week's discussion, it occurred to me that I don't deal with grief well. And maybe I never have, and maybe I just refuse. I don't know what my problem is. But my family's in Pennsylvania, my siblings and all of the rest of the group, and I'm in Colorado. So there's a separation there, and we're not real close anymore, and I think we should be. So I don't know where my problem is. Maybe it's me and my dog sitting here alone all the time. But I have a lot of good friends, here in the Allens Park area, so I'm good. But things have gotten much better over this past week.
Okay.
Yeah. I had an issue last weekend. My furnace went out. We got that fixed. And then Tuesday, the power lines went down. Thankfully, I have a generator, so that worked. So, I realize how blessed I am to have so many wonderful people around me. So things are getting better.
But grief is still real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grief is still real.
Grief never goes away.
Well, let's talk. Let's talk about grief a little bit more today. And I have a poem. When I say I have a poem, I mean our friend Anne has a poem. Anne, are you willing to read this poem out to us?
Sure.
Well, let me give you the gist of it, because I had to ask Anne ahead of time, because I tried reading the poem, and I have to tell you, it was a little too thick for me. Like, I got the feeling of the poem, but I didn't understand the words, so I said, Anne, could you tell me what the gist of the poem is? And Anne said, and I'll read to you, it says, "A little girl is mourning the falling leaves at a place called Golden Grove." Little girl's mourning the falling leaves at a place called Golden Grove. It said that as she gets older, the author says that as she gets older, she'll become immune to it. She'll become immune to her grief of the falling leaves. But ultimately, she is instinctively mourning for all life, which comes from the same place, including her own mortality. It's a thick poem about mortality and a little girl coming to face it. And Anne, I'm going to put you up on... Thank you so much for bringing this poem to us. I'm going to put you up on the screen. Anne, can you say hi so I got you on the screen?
Hello.
Oh, that did not do it. All right, Anne, go ahead. Read to us.
Okay. So the title of the poem is called Spring and Fall because he's contrasting the innocence and naivete of the girl in her youth with how she will feel as an adult, which is the fall.
Okay.
Referring to the fall of man.
Hold on one second. We have extra camera something happening, and there's a million. Did one of my beautiful co-hosts touch a button or help me to undo what we did? There we go.
I spotlighted so we could read while Anne was talking.
Okay, now we got it. Go ahead, Anne.
You got it? Okay. So yeah, it is very linguistically dense because he was experimental, but you should be able to get the gist of it. It's spring and fall to a young child. Margaret, are you grieving over Golden Grove and leaving? Leaves, like the things of man, you with your fresh thoughts care for, can you? Ah, as the heart grows older, it will come to such sights, colder by and by, nor spare a sigh, though worlds of wanwood leaf no lie. Mm-hmm. And yet you will weep, and know why. Sorry. Now, no matter, child, the name, sorest springs are the same. Nor mouth had, nor mind expressed, what heart heard of, ghost guessed. It is the blight man was born for. It is Margaret ye mourn for.
Wow.
That's a thick poem. Even if you didn't get all the words, you got the feeling of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got some feeling of that. What's it saying? What's it saying to you?
That grief is a very complicated thing. That sometimes your one grief will set off another.
Yeah. All grief is related. All grief is connected. When you lose a dog in the year 2026, well, I don't mean any offense, dogs. If you lose a dog in 2026, it's going to bring up the grief you've had your whole life. All grief is related. Thank you. And the poem hits that really hard. Go ahead, Joe Ludwig.
Hello and good morning, and I just want to say hi. It's so great to be back. And thank you, Anne, for the poem, because it's like a perfect segue for where I've been. And for those that don't know me, because I have been absent, my husband died October of 2024. So I've been crawling my way back to trying to be alive since. And I love the last line of the poem. It is Margaret you mourn for. It is Josephine that I mourn for. One of the first things that helped me with the grief when Ken died, because I mean, you know, you go through all of the emotions, and I got to anger, and I was just really, really mad because I had taken this vow November the 6th of 1981 that I would be with this man in my head as an expectation of forever. That's not what the vow says. The vow says until death. And so I was doing the dishes one day, and I thought, well, Joe, the vow said until death. It didn't say who was going to die first. You agreed to be with the person until a death occurred. Well, his happened to occur before mine. That didn't cancel November the 6th, 1981. In fact, it fulfilled it. It fulfilled it in a way I didn't expect. But I'm the one that created the expectation that he and I, well, both of us, we both created an expectation that he and I would be together on planet Earth for 80 years. That is not the story that was written. And even with Maria, when she started with the annoying and the smoothie and all that, like, you can either like what is, or you can hope for what if. And if you stay stuck in what if, you're going to be kind of miserable. And you know, I had to learn that the hard way. And I can't tell you that I'm thrilled that all these lessons I've learned because I lost the dearest man in my life. But I mean, I am growing. I am different. He's very pleased about where he's at, and that doesn't help me much either. Like, why'd you get to go first? Whatever. But you know what? I'm learning to accept that love is wanting the best for the people that you really care about.
Yeah. We had that quote last week, actually, Joe. We had this quote from M. Scott Peck. Love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. That's what love is, putting yourself out there.
Well, thank you, because that's ultimately what's bringing me peace. I've thought many times, I mean, yes, I want him back. I do. Just my flesh wants him back. But do I really want him back? No. Why would I take him out of the glory of whatever's next? He's been connecting with, he's having a wonderful time. And I love him so much that I'm happy that he's having a wonderful time. It's me that's doing the mourning, just like Margaret.
Just like Margaret. Yeah.
Just like Margaret.
I'm going to add in something that one of you said last week and then had to explain it to me a little deeper, which is when you grieve the loss of someone, you have to grieve every single thing that they did. You're not just grieving their life, you're grieving the way they held their spoon. You're grieving the way they put their shoes in the closet. You're grieving every little thing. Everything that you were attached to, you grieve.
You could be grieving the way they annoyed you when they slurped their smoothie.
I have found, I've done my share of eulogies. Oh my God, do you remember the way he used to drive with the music all the way loud? Oh my God, it was so annoying. It's the things that were annoying that people miss. It's just such a strange one. Yeah, go ahead, Larisse.
It's not just, it's also, there's all different kinds of grieving.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I think I've mentioned before, I don't know, it was here or in my other class, that there's, when something doesn't work anymore, or it's changed, there's a grieving of the old.
Yeah.
That doesn't work anymore. Like, I don't know if I mentioned to you, but I was in Oliver and I were in an accident.
You did tell us. You tell us you got hit by a car.
Yeah. So the grieving, yeah. So now I'm grieving the old. It's not working anymore, and it's, it's there's such different levels of it that's happening. So and
there's a lot to grieve.
Yeah, and you don't realize that when that happens, there's a change, like a change of like life is really precious. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow or gone. Well, 1 minute, and the next minute you're not going to be here.
Thank
So
you,
it's
Louise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just look at all of you for a second. Everyone on screen is grieving. We're all grieving. Why are we grieving? Because we love. If we didn't love, we wouldn't grieve. I don't think we would. We get attached to things. And then when we don't have that thing anymore, we mourn our losses. We lick our wounds. Of course. Folks, go ahead, Melissa, and then we're going to talk about death. So there's something to look forward to.
It's something different. I think for me lately, grief isn't necessarily about death, isn't necessarily about something, losing people. And we lost about 6 or 7 people in our family last year. It was really rough. But I also have a version of grief going on for my younger self. As I just turned 66, and I wish that my body worked the way it did when I was 26. So there's a grief there sometimes for who you used to be, or who I used to be.
I do. I work with the elderly. That is a conversation I frequently have. Aging is a grieving process.
Yeah. Well, Lee, that brings me to what I want to talk.
Every single thing that isn't like it was when you were 20.
So, Lee, much like you, I work with an elderly population. I mean,
You do?
we got a fair number of people with purple hair in the group, but most everyone else has got gray at the minimum.
We won't tell your daughter.
Or silver.
Death is coming. We're all going to lose everything we've ever had.
And people don't like talking about it. They're afraid of it.
They are. So am I.
Well, it should be talked about.
I have a great idea. Let's talk about it, folks.
Let's talk about it.
I'm not afraid of death.
Amen.
I'm sometimes, you know.
Let me
I would
tell a
prefer
story,
to be
Lee.
Easy.
So there's a story in the Talmud. Story in the Talmud, there are two friends, and they promise that whoever dies first will come and talk to the other one. As it's a work of semi-fiction, that's what happens. One of them dies. He comes back to visit, and the one who comes back, the one who he's visiting says, was death painful? And the answer is no. It was as difficult as plucking a hair out of a cup of milk. Right? You just put your fingers in the cup of milk, you pull the hair out, no big deal. He said, well, if death was as easy as pulling a hair out of a glass of milk. I love that phrase, by the way. I just think it's so great that 2,000 years ago, or however, whoever wrote that, had this phrase, pulling a hair out of... Is death difficult? No, death was as difficult as pulling a hair out of a glass of milk. So the one who's still alive says, so would you come back? And he said, absolutely not. He said, well, why not? He said, because the fear of death was like trying to pull a ram through a thicket. I don't think any of us have ever had to pull a ram through a thicket, but I think you understand the phrase.
Yes. It's challenging.
It's challenging. Death itself is not difficult, but the fear of death sure is.
Yep.
If we knew that death is coming, what would we do differently? No, let me ask a different question. If you know that death is coming, what do you need to do differently? Forget
Nothing.
differently. Death is
Nothing.
coming. What should...
I know death is coming. I'm not doing anything different.
Nothing. No.
Not doing anything.
Stay in the moment. Just stay in the moment.
I know it's there. I know it's coming.
For me, it adds a... There's the Buddhist story of the guy who falls off a cliff. He grabs onto a strawberry vine that's hanging there, and below him he sees there's tigers, and there's a mouse at the top of the cliff who's gnawing on the strawberry vine, and the man takes the strawberry, he eats it, and he says, this is delicious. That's the end of the story. Zen stories are sometimes a little not sewn up at the end. Enigmatic. The idea of carpe diem, seize the day. What would we do different? Seize the day some.
Dennis just put a wonderful thing in the chat. I don't know if Dennis wants to read it himself, or I'm happy to read it for him. Or
I think if Dennis wants to read, we'll let Dennis figure out if he wants to read. Oh, he moved his microphone. I'm taking that as a sure sign of talking.
Go for it. Do it.
Epictetus said, never in any case say I have lost such a thing, but I have returned it. Is your child dead? It is returned. Is your wife dead? It is returned. Are you deprived of your estate? Is not this also a return?
You mind reading that again? Because it's pretty thick.
Yeah. Never in any case say I have lost such a thing, but I have returned it. Is your child dead? It is returned. Is your wife dead? It is returned. Are you deprived of your estate? Is not this also a return?
Everything we have, we're going to lose.
Well, I think the other
everything
thing
we
is
have,
that,
we're going to return.
Well, everything we have was something borrowed. So
Right.
I mean, I realized that even life was something that was given to me by my parents and their ancestors, and I got from my food. And one day it shall be returned to the earth, and the things that make me are returned. And so I don't lose them, I just give them back. And so they go back to where they came from, and they continue this wonderful cycle that we're all a part of.
That is beautiful. Thank you, Dennis.
So it was never mine to begin with.
Well,
it was lent to you. You had it for some time. Epictetus, just in case you think your life was bad, he was born a slave, I believe, in Greece, and he had a club foot, and he came up with all this wisdom. It's quite inspiring.
It reminds me of the saying, "We are all on borrowed time."
Thank you, Lisa. Did you say that one more time so I can spotlight you while you say it?
It reminds me of the saying, "We are all on borrowed time."
Right. If we keep that in the forefront of our heads, what a day it will be. Go ahead, Carol.
If you have trusted God your whole life, why would you stop trusting God because you're going to die?
God's got a pretty good track record.
I'm not sure most people, even those who think they do, actually trust God.
Many people want to serve God, but mainly as advisors. Go ahead, Bob, and then Beth.
Yeah, as an 85-year-old, that I look forward to enjoying my great-granddaughters, and that I was visiting my daughter-in-law, my 3-year-old great-granddaughter said, "Uncle Bob is here."
That's you.
That's me. Yes.
And to enjoy it.
And so I look forward to the joy of having time with them and helping them grow and having them help me grow.
Yeah. I think we have to do both at the same time. One is to be sad for what we're losing and not to pretend that we're not sad, and to be thankful for what we have at the same time.
And to maybe even be thankful for what we have lost, because at least we had it for a while.
This is true.
Yeah. But I'm reticent to do anything where it feels like we're slapping a big smiley face over some sadness. That will mess with your soul. Go ahead, Ron.
Many years ago in the late 60s, when I declared myself a hippie, the most important value was I don't own anything. It's entrusted to me. I am a steward of it. I care for it. But in the long run, it belongs to the community, the greater whole. And that applies to people too.
That they don't belong to you?
Yes.
They are being lent.
Yes.
I really hope I can keep that in my mind for a while. I'm sure it will have a half-life and fade out, but I'd like to keep that for a while. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah.
I think that when we talk about death, we are focusing only on part of it. I don't think you ever lose anything that you have ever truly loved.
Oh, beautiful.
I also lost my husband, but I haven't lost him because he's part of my DNA. We have been together for 64 years. Believe me, I know what he would say in every situation, and I think about him every single day. And I just, the focus on loss is not seeing that you are willing to move to another stage in life. Look, you're no longer a teenager, thank God. You're no longer in your early 20s wondering if you can get a job. We are constantly in motion. We are constantly in change, and we have to learn to move into change.
Amen. Amen. And that brings us all the way back to the poem that Anne read to us, which is to mourn even the leaves. We mourn everything, but also, Carol, what you're saying is we have those things. What a beautiful thing it is we have. We haven't done... Go ahead, Jim.
Nope.
Oh, no? Okay, that's all good.
Nope.
Maria?
Yes.
Would you take us down the route of offering some prayers for people who need a little extra love?
Mhm. These are the people to whom we are sending light and love. Ken and Cheryl, Greg, Gwen, Reed, and Pam, Sheridan H., Aru Lane Hill, Ebony and Beth Carney, Maggie and Shmuley, Michelle and Spirit and her family and friends, Rita S., the Bell family, Olivia, Shirley, and Paris, Cullen and kids, Patrick, and Lois and Daryl. If there is another person in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Thank you. We'll take a minute. I have a few announcements to make. First and foremost, y'all know what this one's going to say as soon as it gets into focus. It's okay not to be okay. And Al, if you want, you can split the infinitive on that one. You can say, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay not to be okay. I say this almost every week, and I don't know if you're the person who needs to hear this week, but if you're not doing okay, that's okay. We're not built to be happy, happy sunshine puppies all the time. It's okay not to be okay. Other announcements. It says right here on my broken piece of yardstick, love them anyway. Love them anyway. It doesn't matter. Love them anyway. For those of you who are making monthly donations to Religion Outside the Box, it is greatly appreciated and helps us to do such lovely work. We're going to end with a little exercise, which we've done in the past, and I think with our talk about loss, it feels appropriate to do today. So I want you to think of somebody dear who's alive enough to receive an email or a text message. I want you to take out your favorite messaging app or your favorite email client or server. Get yourself ready to do. And I want you to think of a person who you could write the following to. If I were to lose you, I would be horribly sad. Or something along those lines. Or if you don't want to go that route, you can just go, hey, I was thinking about you, just wanted you to know. I'd love you to take a minute, take out your electronic device, or if you're on your electronic device, just go ahead and type. My favorite way of doing it is I go into my messages and I just go scroll till I get to some random person all the way down. I got somebody from January and I say, hey, I was just thinking about you, sending you love. For those of you who are trying to get an A in this class, send a second one. Oh, and by the way, your grades just came in. You're all getting an A. You're all doing just fine. I'm going to ask us to think on something over the next week. And to think on this annoyance thing. Of when we're annoyed. Do you have any strategies that keep you from getting annoyed? Do you have any things that you might, tips and tricks that you might share?
Yes. Yes.
So let me put everyone back up on the screen. That is not it. That is Rabbi in a box. There's everybody. Hey, everybody. Look at the other everybody's on the screen. And look directly at the camera, because there's a person watching on YouTube or Facebook. Look at them too. And in any way that it's a little bit woo-woo, but I'm willing to do it, let's send some love out there. It's a scary world, and some unfortunate things happen. Let's send a little extra love. And take in a little extra love. I'm going to stop the recording as soon as I find the stop the recording button, so everyone keeps smiling until... Here we go. I found the stop recording button.